Hi, just a quick update on GME going into earnings. Just having a look at the liquidity. We can see that we've taken quite a sharpen up, a tighten up of buying in the last couple of days as we've moved towards earnings. If we just have a look at the 3 hours, green is buying obviously, red is selling. We did have a little bit of a sell, which was a little bit reactive. Here we've had a dropping price and we've had buying with that dropping price. That's showing us that we getting a little bit of extra buying going in, and we're really down in quite a nice tight place here. Sort of tightness that we saw going into the May earnings. We're a little bit closer than we were. The May earnings, we did have about 12 or 14 days there. We've only got 4 or 5 trading days left before we hit earnings. Even in the hour, if we have a look, we've had a couple of good tightening periods over the last 4 days. We're down to a really nice tight level now. Just have a quick look behind. We can see we had a whole lot of puts open today. I would say the fact that we've had some tightening in the morning and not a lot of selling for the increase in puts, I would say that a lot of this has been, these were sold out of the money calls, and these puts were sold out of the money puts. And both of those things will force the market makers to reach across the bid, and hopefully will increase the IV. At the moment, the IV is pretty static. We can see that we've had a little bit of extra DPI, not a lot, but we did have this quite strong patch of DPI building after we had this dump down. There was a real recharging of the holdings, and I would hope to start seeing, very, very similar to what we did see in April 24 when we kicked off with the earnings there. Then I would hope to see that we do get a little bit of an increase in IV. We have started to see a tiny bit of an increase if I go into the IV 30, 0 to 30 rather than 30 to. We can just see here we've got higher lows and higher highs. We did see this a little bit in the last couple of bumps. And I hope that we can see that replicated. We've actually still got really good gamma. Gamma really hasn't dropped back a great deal. Gamma has stayed at really quite a high level. We had this dip down, and there was a lot of rolling out and up with the puts and profit taking, and that went straight back into this high buying here in the calls, and really increasing that gamma, much more so than we saw in this last month. We're up to the same sort of level, but at a lower price. Anyway, I'm hoping that we see a good earnings. Definitely worth with the lows 30 to 60 IV. Definitely worth getting in there before we start seeing that to rise. I think both puts and calls are reasonably cheap at the moment, and you could hedge out a position without losing that IV too quickly on both sides. I think that there's definitely some gain there. And although I'm not giving you any advice, I definitely will be taking some of that advice. I'll be going probably an 80 delta call and a 50 delta put to hedge it out and seeing what upside we get. Anyway, have a good end to the week's trading and a good earnings mid next week. Thank you very much.